Use code Proxidist for 20% off any tub at G Fuel. It also helps support the channel. So there I was, sat staring at my Steam library and my massive collection of games thinking, man, games just don't hit the same anymore. Yeah, okay, so you already know where I'm getting at with this. So I see a lot of tweets and just general YouTube videos, usually with a Minecraft thumbnail, you know, that fuck-ass Minecraft thumbnail where it's like, it's Steve sat in a field and it's like, games just don't hit the same anymore. And a trend I see in those is they always mention the same games, and it's usually online multiplayer games. Or if it's not an online multiplayer game, it's like GTA 5. It's like the story mode of GTA 5.
Oh, fuck you!
Franklin will eventually show up to defend his home.
But this isn't me just shitting on like those types of games, by the way. This can go for any sort of games, because I was having this problem myself back in, I'd say like 2015, 2016. I remember the only games I would play at that time was Team Fortress 2 and like Saints Row 2. I don't know what it is about those two games, but all I played on Steam were those two games, and maybe some Killing Floor 1 here and there, because it still had a player base. And I also had the same mindset. I was like, games just don't hit the same anymore. You know, I maybe I'm just losing interest in games. Just before I started college though, I had this thought in my head where I was like, I should just branch out. I should just try some new games. It's what a lot of people should do. If you're ever in a slump and you're like, ah man, games just don't hit the same as they used to. Games are just getting worse. They're not. Games aren't getting worse. Some absolute bangers have released this year. The problem is you're not looking for the good games. A lot of us are just kind of sat waiting for the games we're comfortable with to get better, but they're not going to get better. I mean, have you seen Black Ops 7? That series, they need to pull the plug on that series. That series has been on life support for the past few years, and it's only just now not making them as much money as it used to, because everyone keeps buying it, hoping for a better experience, but it's always just downhill. Which is why I think it's really important to just try new experiences. I know you may be watching this after my last discussion video thinking, wait, this kind of contradicts what he's saying here, because his last video was about how you can't enjoy every game. And yeah, my point still stands about that. This is a risk, but it's a risk that you shouldn't be too scared to take. Like, there's loads of games out there that you can get for cheap, and as much as I hate the Epic Games Store, they've given out a lot of bangers for free. Maybe you should go back, look at all the games you've claimed for free, and maybe think, I should try one of these. For all you know, that game that you try could become one of your favorite series ever, and you've just unlocked a treasure trove of sequels to play. Like in 2017, I remember I got into a game that I shouldn't mention right now, it's too early, but also Resident Evil 7. I got into Resident Evil 7, and that was the first time I ever beat a Resident Evil game. I didn't like horror games before that. I thought they were too scary, I thought they were too hard, but I pushed myself and I beat Resident Evil 7, and something clicked in my mind that made me think, holy fuck, I actually really like this. And then after that, I just played every single Resident Evil game under the sun. Sure, there were some that I didn't enjoy, like Revelations 2 and Resident Evil 5. I do not like those games at all. But the amount of good experiences I had because I decided to just dip my toes into playing Resident Evil and trying a new series, I just haven't looked back since. The same goes for Devil May Cry. I wouldn't have gotten into that series if I didn't just take the risk and buy the HD collection when it came out on Steam. And it's another case where like I wasn't fully getting it at first, but I kept pushing through and it just clicked for me. It doesn't work all the time, you know, there's sometimes where you push through to the end of a game you risked buying and you'd like, I don't get it. Like me with Skyrim 4 times. I still don't know why I beat that game 4 times hoping to enjoy it after each playthrough. To be fair, it was over the course of a long time. It was over the course of like 5 or 4 years. So come on now, yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's pretty bad. I don't know why I played through that game so many times. But yeah, if you're ever feeling like you're in a slump and you don't know what game to play, or you think games just don't hit the same anymore, do a bit of research. You know, look into what games people are raving about, especially indie games as well. There are so many good indie games out there that just nobody talks about whatsoever. Here's one for you all. Organ Quarter. It is basically Silent Hill in VR, and yeah, it looks a bit like janky. I think it's made by a small team, but it is good shit. It is a good experience. You can actually make little stamps on the map, like it feels very interactive, and it is terrifying in VR. And if you don't own a VR headset, there's Lost in Vivo. That's an underrated Silent Hill-esque horror game that you probably have heard about way more than Organ Quarter, because I know Pyrocynical made a video about it years ago, but that's a really good game. That's a really good game. Games still do hit the same. You just need to stop playing the same games over and over again, especially if you're not enjoying it deep down. I think it hits the hardest with multiplayer games. Like, I remember when Arc Raiders came out, I was enjoying it for the first 20 hours, and then after 20 hours, I was just kind of like, I'm just opening up this game to farm some fuck-ass battle pass so I can get a skin that I like the look of. I'm not actually enjoying this game, and I made the decision to drop it there and then, and I'm glad I did. You know, I had my fun with it, I moved on. If I kept playing Arc Raiders and games that I wasn't actually enjoying over and over again, I would definitely have the same mindset. But yeah, it's just important to branch out, and you should definitely do so. You should definitely do so. And a good recommendation is The Evil Within. If you've not played The Evil Within yet, now is the time. Go play The Evil Within. It is the best horror game ever made. There's only 2 Evil Within games, but hopefully, if I keep plugging this game, if I keep plugging it, Tango or Microsoft will give the IP back to Tango, and they will make a 3rd Evil Within game. It's gonna happen, fellas. It is 100% gonna happen. Don't doubt me, it's gonna happen. And the day it happens, you'll all look back on my videos and you'll be like, holy shit, this was all Proxidist. And they'll give me the collector's edition for free or some shit. That would be a dream come true. Give me The Evil Within free. I remember when they did the announcement trailer for Black Ops 7 and I thought it was the 3rd Evil Within game. I was on immense copium, and then it got all tactical and shit, and I got so mad. I will never forgive you, Activision, for the way you laid that trailer out. You made it out like it was a psychological horror game. Sorry, I'm getting way too ahead of myself. I need to thank my Patreon supporters. Huge shout out to Pitstab, Bouncer Storm Productions, and Daniel Levchenko. And a huge thanks to my channel members. We got a new one today, fellas. Obviously, there's Resistance Lion, absolute legend, been there since the early days. And the new one is Griefgar? Griefgar. I'm just gonna say Griefgar. Please correct me in the comments if I said it wrong, and I will make sure to say it correctly when it comes to it again. Also, a huge shout out to Some Balding Guy Rambling Into the Void. Love that username, but they became a channel member whilst I was working on this, so yeah, my voice sounds very tinny right now, and I'm incredibly ill. And also, another huge thank you to Rust on Wood, who also recently became a channel member. But thank you so much for supporting me, fellas. I really appreciate it.